The Asia-Pacific awoke to a seismic headline: U.S. forces to return to Subic Bay. The announcement reverberated from Manila to Washington and Beijing, signaling a major shift in regional security. Subic Bay, once a symbol of American might, was set for a dramatic revival. This was no routine policy tweak, it was a strategic realignment with far-reaching consequences for the South China Sea. The move directly challenged China's growing influence, drawing a new line in the sand. Now, history was turning back, but with new stakes and urgency. For the US and the Philippines, this was about more than military hardware, it was about reaffirming an alliance tested by time. The return to Subic Bay sent a clear message. The United States was ready to re-engage as an active player. Subic Bay, once a relic, was now a frontline in the contest for the Indo-Pacific. The headlines were just the opening move. To grasp the significance of the U.S. return, we must revisit the departure. For nearly a century, Subic Bay and Clark Air Base were pillars of American power in the Pacific. These bases were more than military outposts, they were American towns transplanted onto Philippine soil. They played vital roles in World War II and the Cold War, projecting U.S. influence across Asia. But in 1991, Mount Pinatubo's eruption buried Clark Air Base, forcing a hasty U.S. withdrawal. Subic Bay's fate, however, was sealed by politics, not nature. Rising nationalism and debates over sovereignty led the Philippine Senate to reject a treaty extension. In November 1992, the last American flag was lowered at Subic Bay, ending a 94-year presence. The economic impact was immediate. Jobs vanished, and Olongapo City struggled. The Philippines converted Subic into a free port, achieving commercial success, but the strategic vacuum was palpable. The U.S. realigned its forces and the region adjusted to a new reality. The security umbrella was gone, and a new challenge soon emerged on the horizon. The departure marked the end of an era, but it also set the stage for future realignment. The Philippines charted its own course, but the shadow of great power rivalry never fully disappeared. The legacy of Subic Bay lingered, waiting for history to turn once more. The world would soon see why the past was never truly past. The seeds of return were already being sown. Decades after the U.S. departure, shifting geopolitics set the stage for a historic reconciliation. In 2023, the U.S. and the Philippines expanded the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, granting U.S. forces access to 4 new strategic sites. This was the largest expansion of American military presence in the Philippines in over 30 years. The new sites, chosen for their proximity to Taiwan and the South China Sea, signaled a revitalized alliance. Unlike the old permanent bases, this agreement focused on rotational access and joint training, with bases remaining under Philippine command. President Marcos Jr. championed the deal, calling it essential for national defense and maritime security. The agreement allowed for new runways, fuel storage, and military housing, enhancing interoperability and rapid response. Built on earlier treaties, the 2023 EDCA expansion moved the alliance from theory to practice. American assets returned to strategic locations, including near Subic Bay. The message was clear: the alliance was back, stronger and more operational than ever. This was not just about military presence, it was about shared security in a volatile region. The partnership adapted to new threats, with both nations recognizing the need for credible deterrence. The agreement marked a turning point, transforming the alliance into a modern, flexible force. The U.S. and the Philippines were no longer just partners on paper, they were allies in action. The region took notice. The balance of power was shifting once again. The driving force behind the renewed alliance can be summed up in one word: China. Over the past decade, Beijing's aggressive expansion in the South China Sea has alarmed its neighbors. Despite an international tribunal ruling against its claims, China has built military outposts on disputed reefs, turning them into fortified islands. Chinese vessels routinely harass Philippine fishermen and challenge the Philippine Navy. These gray zone tactics threaten sovereignty and economic livelihoods, pushing Manila back toward its traditional ally. The need for a credible deterrent became undeniable. The U.S.-Philippine alliance, once a relic, now had a new and urgent purpose. The U.S. strategy is clear: deterrence and rapid response. By positioning forces in the Philippines, the U.S. sends a strong message: any aggression will be met with immediate action. Bases in northern Luzon offer vantage points near Taiwan, while Palawan puts U.S. forces close to the South China Sea's flashpoints. This distributed presence complicates adversary planning and enhances survivability. The goal isn't to start a war, but to prevent one. Dispersed forces are less vulnerable and more flexible, making it harder for any adversary to strike first. The Philippine bases are now key nodes in a resilient network, enabling rapid response to crises. The strategy upholds a free and open Indo-Pacific, ensuring international waters remain accessible. The U.S. return is a cornerstone of this vision, reinforcing alliances and deterring coercion. It's a strategic pivot designed to counter China's assertiveness and maintain stability. The alliance now provides a credible military backstop to diplomacy. The stakes are high, but so is the commitment to peace. The region's security depends on this renewed partnership. A major development is the plan for an ammunition production and logistics hub at Subic Bay. This joint venture goes beyond access. It integrates U.S. and Philippine defense industries. Subic's deep water port and infrastructure make it ideal for storing and potentially co-producing munitions. In a Pacific conflict, logistics are critical. A Subic hub shortens supply lines and boosts readiness. Co-production transfers technology and expertise, helping the Philippines build its own defense capabilities. For the U.S., it diversifies and strengthens its supply chain. The facility will handle everything from small arms to advanced munitions, built to top safety standards. This is a long-term investment in the alliance and Subic's strategic future. The former naval base becomes a vital arsenal for a free and open Indo-Pacific. Subic's transformation is a symbol of the alliance's evolution. The U.S. military's return brings economic benefits to the Philippines. Construction and upgrades at EDCA sites create jobs and inject millions into local economies. U.S. spending on housing and services boosts local businesses. The agreement accelerates modernization of the armed forces of the Philippines. With advanced hardware and training, improved defense capabilities attract foreign investment and support economic growth. Upgraded infrastructure has dual-use benefits, aiding both military and civilian needs. Pre-positioned U.S. equipment enhances disaster response in a country prone to natural calamities. The alliance delivers tangible benefits beyond security, strengthening national resilience. The alliance now aims to build the Philippines' own defense industry. New laws encourage investment and technology transfer, fostering a self-reliant industrial base. The Philippine Defense Industry Development Act incentivizes local and foreign companies to manufacture defense equipment domestically. U.S. support includes joint ventures and skills transfer, as seen in the Subic Ammunition Hub. A domestic industry reduces reliance on imports and tailors equipment to local needs. It creates high-skilled jobs and spurs innovation, with benefits spilling into the civilian sector. Economic development and defense capability now go hand in hand. The U.S. is helping the Philippines forge its own path to security. The alliance is most visible in expanded joint military exercises like Balikatan. These now include complex multi-domain operations and live-fire drills, sending a clear message to potential aggressors. U.S. investment upgrades EDCA sites with new runways, piers, and advanced communications. Pre-positioned fuel and supplies enable rapid crisis response, reducing deployment times from weeks to hours. Enhanced logistics make the alliance more agile and credible. Training extends beyond combat, covering maritime awareness, cybersecurity, and counter-terrorism. U.S. and Philippine forces work side by side, building trust and interoperability. The partnership is rebuilt through shared challenges and constant cooperation. The alliance is no longer just a treaty, it's a living operational force. Together they are shaping a more secure region. The U.S. return brings security, modernization and economic gains for the Philippines. For the U.S., it strengthens a key alliance and its Pacific posture. The partnership deters aggression and upholds a rules-based order. But the risks are real. China sees the expanded alliance as containment, raising tensions. The Philippines faces the danger of being caught in a U.S.-China conflict, especially over Taiwan. Domestic opposition to foreign troops remains a political challenge. The government must balance security needs with economic ties to China. The choice is calculated. The risks of inaction outweigh those of alliance. The path forward demands careful diplomacy and clear-eyed resolve. The return to Subic Bay marks a new chapter. Whether it brings peace or peril will define the Indo-Pacific's future.